Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to the Virtual Market Showcase by the Shoes Biscuit. I'm Alex Whiteley, and joining me today is.
Shane Hinton.
Hey, you did it. Look at that,
I
telepathic
got
we
my
are.
name. I got my name right and everything. It's a
Yeah,
good
well
start.
done, man. That's a start.
Thanks.
Um, Happy Easter, everybody! It's a beautiful day, and if you're watching this, among with it being Easter and with it being a glorious day, thank you very much for giving us your time. Didn't expect it at all, but hey, here we are. Also, you have to put it with me because I was up till 3 o'clock in the morning last night interviewing Billy West. I'm going to say that. I'm going to plug that in right now. I got to speak to the Red M&M. Amongst other things, Bugs Bunny and all that. But yeah, thanks for joining us. How have you been, Shane? You've been enjoying the shine, or have you been busy?
Yeah. I mean, I had a bit of a meltdown earlier because my daughter wanted to go out on a bike, and obviously it's been pretty much stored and since all winter kind of thing. We just sort of got it out, and both her tires were flat, and my foot pump didn't work. So that was an issue. But it's fixed now. Sorted it. Because I'm resourceful like that. I actually just blew the tire up, like physically blew it, because I'm a super dad, so I can do that sort of stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's no dignifying way to use a foot pump, is there?
No, not really. Not really. You can't be like sexy using a foot pump, can you? Do you know what I mean? Like you can't be.
No.
It just doesn't.
I tell you who can be sexy doing absolutely anything, and he does do absolutely anything, is one of our guests, and that is the amazing Andy O'Brien. Thank you, Andy, for joining us on the show.
How you doing? You all right?
How's it going, buddy? Thanks for joining us on the show.
I was just catching a few rays and you woke me up.
Also joining us on the show is Malcolm Evans from Deliv2. You may have seen the brand knocking about Shrewsbury, and you may be wondering, well, what exactly is going on here? What is this place? Well, we're going to find out today by speaking to Malcolm Evans from Deliv2. Thank you, Malcolm, for joining us.
Yeah, hi guys.
Yeah. You guys have put us to shame, by the way. I'm in my bedroom, Shane's in the bedroom. You guys are just like, yeah, summer! Nearly.
Yeah.
Let's do that, son.
I've even drawn my curtains. Like, I've got the light off. The light's off. Yeah, the curtains drawn. I'm literally in my back cave right now.
I'm
well done,
maxing
well
out
done.
the sunshine while we've got it.
That's it, isn't it? This is the thing, right? I'm always like, it's okay. I'll do it tomorrow. It'll be nice tomorrow. Rain.
Snow. Sleet.
Oh, absolutely. We brought you guys on there. You guys have got both very different sort of companies and businesses, but this is the idea: is to kind of merge people up, get people talking to each other. It's amazing. Andy, you are you were very busy before lockdown, performing. I say performing. That's what my dad always used to say. Oh, it's Alex. He's just performing. He's always performing, that Alex. But you were, man. You were.
What were you doing?
Being a drama queen or whatever it is he'd call me, running around doing stupid voices, singing, being loud. That's
Just being a legend. Just being a legend.
Absolutely. We spoke to you right at the beginning of lockdown, didn't we? I think you came to the studio. How have you been managing since then?
It's been cool, man. I've had a lot of local support. I put a lot of things out there. I'm like a bad penny, people say. I get everywhere. If it's not for the voice and the guitar, it's for mowing lawns or doing a bit of Ant-Man or, just doing something community-based that kind of pays the bills and keeps the kids eating, really. But predominantly, music is that's where my love is. And I've been gigging from my shed for kind of like a year on a Saturday night. So
yeah, we've got pictures here. That's a very Adam Sandler look, by the way, that there in your shed. The shed, the famous
Adam
shed.
Sandler.
Look at it, Mama.
I'm not angry.
Look at these contrasting views, Andy. You've got this amazing this here, which is where you are. This is the wild Andy O'Brien, where he belongs. And then and this is the Lawnmower Man. This is two completely different settings. How do you fit it all in? How do you go from one to the other? It's amazing.
It's really weird, actually, because I suffer really bad with hay fever. But it started. I moved out into Pontesbury. I wanted a place where I could think and a place I could write songs and stuff. So me and the wife, when we decided to start having kids, we decided, my wife's from Ludlow, so she lives kind of in the sticks. And we decided we wanted to escape like the hustle and bustle of Shrewsbury. So we moved out into Pontesbury. And it just started really with mowing my own lawn. And the neighbours said, can you do mine? And then they talk. And that's what's beautiful about like the countryside. Everybody still, even those mobile phones and internet, you know, if I was to put a gig on at the local pub, people say they're going to be there. They're going to be there. Whereas, I don't know, I think like the busier places, people are too busy. They don't know if they're going to come, so they just tell you they're going to come anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I've been lucky really with the lawns really, because it's kept me ticking over until, and it makes people realise that, you know, you're not just an act. You actually can diversify and give back a little bit, not just with live music, but you can provide a service and do something that people perhaps don't want to do, or they haven't got the time to do because they haven't been furloughed or they haven't been. And obviously with this beautiful weather, I'm flat out.
And with that van, I guess people can't see you, can't miss you coming. It's like, oh, where's the guy who's going to do our lawns? And then this van turns up. There he is.
They pay a premium. They pay a premium, Alex. You know what I mean? There's not many singing mower mans.
Singing mower man.
Now moving to Malcolm. You guys launched 2 weeks ago. We were just talking about this. Deliv 2. Would you like to explain to the listeners what Deliv 2 is?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we came up with the idea last year, and in very simple terms, we're using an e-bike. So it's a bike with an electric motor on it, powered by battery. And the bike itself can have storage space on it, as can the trailer that we've actually designed and developed that we tow behind it as well. So you've just seen a picture there, very bright, stands out very well in the crowd. And the idea is that we're providing businesses and the local community with the means of actually getting products around the town in an environmentally friendly way. But also it means that we're reducing on the footprint of the traffic, reducing pollution. We're able to get around the town much faster. We're able to put more press on the business to actually collect the goods and actually get that out to the people in the community. On the flip side of that is that the community themselves can actually use us to actually go and make collections for them as well. So maybe you've ordered yourself a new telly at Argus, or a new lawnmower maybe for Andy, and we can go and actually collect that and actually bring that to your house as well. So it's a wide and diversified range of products that we can actually deliver to. At the moment we're delivering for florists, bakers. We're in conversation with several shops around Shrewsbury at the moment, all sort of getting themselves ready for reopening as well. So we've got vintage products, we've got butchers, and we've also got people that have got businesses that are outside of the town, but they're wanting to get their products distributed within the town. So they'll bulk deliver to us, and then we actually distribute it around the town.
So the idea is I could buy something from Shrewsbury and you guys would deliver it to my house.
Yeah, absolutely.
Amazing. That's a really cool idea.
And,
I like the fact
business to business as well. So, you know, it could be a car garage, for example, needing car parts, and we can go and collect the car parts and actually deliver it to the garage for them as well.
I love the e-bikes application because obviously it's healthy for the environment. You know, with that big trailer on the back, you're going to stand out on you. You're not going to be in trouble on the roads or anything. You're going to be A to B as quick, blickety bam. You know, that's quite cool.
The great thing is they're also really good fun as well.
I bet they are. I kind of want to go. I'm not going to lie. I do want to go.
They're good fun.
Can we pick a couple of laws?
Yeah. We've had people saying, "Oh, it's going to be tough getting up Wild Cop with a bike and a trailer," and it's not. It's really easy. It's good.
I genuinely want to go. Biscuit comes to deliver to.
It's super fast as well, so hopefully we're not holding up cars and that sort of thing. And also because it's a bike, where it's sort of acceptable to do so, we can also use cycle lanes as well.
Wow.
Amazing. There is a comment coming up, and I didn't write this. I don't know why it's come up with my name. It says, I think it's Andy's bike. We can hear a bit of wind, that's all, I think.
I'm going to go and sit in the van.
Get in your van, Andy. What were you thinking? Trying to trust the British weather,
It's beautiful. It's beautiful out here.
It's amazing. Right, let's get on with what we come here to do. We like to talk to people about the businesses and find out about their journey. Is that better?
That better?
I don't know. We'll get on with it. I'm sure.
Better.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, I'd like to start off with why. Why? I always ask this: why do what you do? We'll start off with Andy. When it comes to being a musician, it's hard to stand out. Of course, we've already discussed that you have more than one trade. You're a van man, you're a lawnmower guy, and you do the pressure washing. Why do what you do?
Which one, Alex?
All of it. Why? Okay, let's talk about music. Why did you want to get out there and make a name for yourself in music?
I always knew I wanted to be a musician from a young age. It was kind of in the family. My cousin was a genius. He could play any instrument. His dad played the pubs, and I took a liking to it at an early stage. Going back to the days where pubs were quite my dad used to drink in a pub and play pool for a pub and stuff like that, and bands used to rehearse in the lounge back in the day. And I remember looking through thinking to myself, wow, what a job. And I just knew from a young age that it made me buzz. Do you know what I mean? And I love providing a service like music that makes people happy and brings people together. There's just something, I don't know, not medicinal. I don't want to say medicinal, but there's something just special. I don't know if it's a superpower or you know what I mean?
It's a spiritual thing, isn't it? I suppose being involved with music and then having that power to bring those people together on a universal front, and everyone's having fun, and you're leading that. There's a spiritual and emotional thing with it, isn't it?
And people are smiling. You look at people and they're in their element, because they're together with the people they want to be with, enjoying this kind of hitting them. Do you know what I mean? Unless it's me. No, I'm not joking.
It's the energy, isn't it? It's you sort of it's people around you start feeding off the energy that you're putting out.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to go to one of Andy's last gigs. I think it possibly was your last gig, and the atmosphere was that you got such a great supporting sort of group of people that follow you around everywhere. You're very, very well supported in Shrewsbury, and that's always nice to see. But to be able to stand out into out of the crowd is another thing altogether, isn't it? Because there's lots of people that stand up and on open mic nights and karaoke night. There's lots of people that do that. But you had something really special when you record, and I think that's something you can't learn. I think that's something you've either got or you haven't. The X factor.
It's in your DNA. It's like people say, "Oh, I can't sing." I think you're born with a voice. I don't want to say big-headed. I don't think you can. I've never understood people that say, "Oh, I'm having singing lessons." For me, you can either sing or you can't. There's no polishing it. Do you know what I mean? You're born with it. We're good at certain things, aren't we? Do you know what I mean? Like, I would never go under the bonnet in my van and start trying to fix it, because that's just not what I'm good.
Never
do you know
would
what I mean? But there's other things I am good at. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm good at cooking. I'm good at. There's other things.
If we're all good at everything, then it'll be pointless, wouldn't it? But
What's the point?
the whole point is that we've all got pros and cons. Alex is really good at the editing, and I'm not. But Alex comes to me to get his car fixed. It's you play to your strengths, and I think you're right, and I think that. As much as everybody probably can learn to sing, maybe, I think that you've either got it or you haven't. I haven't got it. I can't sing.
And then you've got two different kind of performers. I don't want to use famous people as examples, but you've got people like, I don't know, say Robbie Williams. Some people say he can't sing, and some people say, yeah, but he's an amazing performer. And he's definitely good at something, because people pay to go and see him and people buy his records. So when people say, oh, he's crap or he's rubbish, or I say, well, it depends what angle you're looking at, and it depends who you are.
It depends what you want
from some people don't.
Yeah, it depends what you want from an artist, isn't it? I suppose it's what you want from that experience.
Right, let's move it over to Malcolm. Why Deliv 2?
Why did it?
Why?
Why?
Well, the why really is I've lived in Shrewsbury all my life, and we saw a solution through my other business. I own a engineering fabrication company, co-own it, and we were looking for products to develop, and started looking at the whole cycling and the boom in cycling. This was pre COVID lockdown. This was. And we started looking at different solutions, and we were trying to find a good environmental story that fitted in with the town and that was expandable really for our business. And this was a really good solution. Initially, we were actually looking at developing the actual e-cargo bikes, and that evolves then into actually developing and producing our own trailers to go behind the e-cargo bikes. And got into conversation with a good friend of mine, Barry Charles, who's used to be on the board for FedEx and DX, who's very experienced in logistics. And I had a conversation with him over a beer and said, "You're probably going to think I'm a bit mad here, but I've got this thing about having a e-cargo bike with a trailer behind it, where we can environmentally move goods around." Expected him to laugh at me and send me home. He said, "No, that's a really good idea, and I've got a lot of experience in that area because in my previous work, we've actually purchased a electric van delivery company in London."
Oh wow!
So the whole idea sort of evolved from that point on, really. So the more we've got into it, the more the opportunities of what we can actually do with this has come about, and it's a great way, I think, of reducing the traffic in the town centre. Shrewsbury suffers quite badly with pollution as well, especially with traffic coming in over the English Bridge. Over both bridges, there's a huge bottleneck of vehicles and pollution in those areas. So this is just a really good way of contributing to solving those sort of problems and helping the businesses to actually interact with the community.
Yeah.
Wow!
Great idea.
I'm glad you use electric bikes, and I'm sure your people at work for you do as well. Because the cop, I mean, trying to
I was
get
just
that
about to
cop.
say the hills.
Yeah, I think Al once would have loved to have had a bike with a trailer on it when he had his mixing desk and he was lugging up while cops do interviews, like sweating.
We've already been asked if we can actually deliver speakers and gear to gigs around Shrewsbury for people. So
I'll be using you.
there you go.
although I don't do as much in Shrewsbury anymore, but definitely if I do, I'll be getting in touch with you.
Then. You can come and mow my lawn for me because I hate.
There you go.
I don't know if I'll have time.
Networking. Boom.
I don't know if I'll have time. I've just got in the fire brigade.
There you go.
Anything else you want to do, Andy? Do you want to join the police force?
How did that come?
Do you want
So he was gardening one day, and somebody was like, "Oh, he's really good with that hose." I've got an idea.
I don't know how to find time for my kids.
I thought I had a lot of ideas and wore a lot of hats, but Andy, I think you've outdone me.
Right, Shane,
People say
Andy,
to success is concentrating on one thing, and you can't be nice to be successful. But I thought I'd try and smash that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think you are literally the definition of jack of all trades.
You've maxed out on complete niceness and also maxed out on all your services you can offer as well.
Yeah.
You've even got the advantage if your mower goes on fire, you can put it out.
I don't know what I want to be when I'm older. If I ever get old.
You know what? Next time he's on the podcast, Al, right? Andy's going to be like, "So I've just managed to get into NASA.
Got a different hat.
I'm going to be the first man on Mars."
The great thing is, I'm actually going to develop him a fire tender to go behind my e-cargo bike to put his fire out.
8 PAs. The PA's gone on fire. It lives there.
Call us in. We got the water.
Oh, brilliant. Right, Shane, next. When?
So when did this happen then? So when did... Let's start with Andy again. So when did you when did you start? I suppose properly sort of getting into this sort of stuff.
Which one?
Who is this guy, Al?
Who's your friend there, Andy? Who is he?
When I applied for the fire brigade, my little lad, I said, "Oh, I don't know if I'm too old for this. I'm nearly 40." I thought, I don't know if I'm too old for. I don't know if anyone knows anything about the fire brigade, but they've got a day called Hose Tuesday. No, it's not like that, and it's designed to basically sort out the boys, you know, for the girls. And my little lad gave me this little Lego toy to say, "Dad, you're gonna smash it." I struggled like hell that day. I got through, and then I found out I'd slipped 2 discs. So the fire brigade's not on pause, but it's a career that I've always wanted to do. My father-in-law served 32 years or something like that at Ludlow. So I'd always been around it, and I always thought, I love people. I love community-based things, and I thought, it's not even for the money. It's cheaper than going to the gym, innit? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was win-win for me, and obviously the clock's ticking when you're in bed. So I think they were looking for mid-cover where I live, Monday to Friday, evenings and days. So they were short of people, and I thought, you know,
Why not?
let's do it. Do you know what I mean?
As you do, you know.
Yeah,
Might as well do something else. I mean, like, you can sleep with your dead, can't you? You know.
we do fun wars, but now
Yeah.
So, Andy, have you always been like a handyman as well as a singer as well? Is that something you've always done? Or has the singing just been like your main role, your main job?
I just love people. I think, like, obviously, like, singing has been something that I've what's the word, excelled in, and I don't know, I suppose people get to know me from my personality. As you can see, I'm not quiet, and I like a laugh, and I think that goes kind of hand in hand with singing. It's performing, it's being around people, and I think there's 2 kinds of people in life. You're either a leader or a follower. I don't mean that, again, big-headed, but I mean there's people that look up to people, or there's people that not look down to people, but kind of take people and show them the ropes. And I grew up, my dad had 2 chip shops in Shrewsbury, and I grew up playing the guitar in this chip shop restaurant, and people coming in, and I kind of knew from a young age that performing to people, they used to say, "Oh, can you play that thing?" And I'd be like, "Ding, ding, ding." I probably couldn't then, but I'd try and, you know, perform, and they'd be like, "Oh, brilliant," and they'd give you a quid, or they'd say, "Oh, do you want some sweets out the sweet machine?" And I kind of, I don't know, I suppose it goes back to the old days when people there wasn't money, and they used to exchange their trade for another trade. Do you know what I mean? And I think music's kind of like that, and I thought, what a beautiful thing to be involved in. So yeah, I don't know, I just love being around people, and that's when I come into my element. So I think singing was definitely a route for me, and obviously now I'll travel to Glasgow, Manchester, Somerset. I'll just jump in the van and...
No, you won't. Boris said no. I'm joking.
I did a live last night, actually, Alex. I don't know if you saw.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah.
I thought I can't keep playing from the shed, so I had to get out there. And I did live on the drive.
So Malcolm, what about you then, mate? You know, when did this all happen for you? Like, when did you sort of start? You know, you mentioned it's pre-lockdown, wasn't it? You were having sort of thoughts about this stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, my business partner in Ferro, which is my engineering fabrication company, we'd both agreed that we wanted to look at product development, which was probably about 18 months ago that we wanted to develop our own products. So that's when the sort of search started, really. So I'm always inquisitive about things and looking for new ways of moving things forward. And we had numerous conversations about it, and that was really the sort of starting point of it, really. So my background is sort of design and engineering supplies as well. So I've been able to understand how to make things work and how to sort the answers to make a piece of equipment do what it's got to do. Lee, my business partner, is extremely good at actually turning my crazy ideas into reality, and we end up with pieces of metal thrown all over the place.
Is he the one that sits there and you go, "I've got an idea," and he goes, "Oh God."
That's it, yeah. He's off again. Yeah. Don't tell me you want to mow lawns next.
That's usually me, by the way.
Yeah.
So I'm on the same kind of wavelength as you, Malcolm, because I have that kind of way of thinking about stuff. You know, instead of thinking there's a problem, think how can I fix it? You know, and like sort of trying to work ways around it. And I do think that it's something which I actually it occurred to me actually when I was at college and I was doing mechanics at college. That I know it sounds. I'm trying to put it sort of in a short way. Getting something, you know, a physical thing, and being able to get that thing and move it around in like a 3-dimensional, you know, on its axis in several different ways, and then take it apart and blow it up, you know, into its individual pieces in your head, is actually something that not many people have. I didn't know this, and I thought everybody could do it because that's how my brain works. You know, when I got a problem with the car, I can, you know, sort of take it apart in my head, and you know, I'm already about 3 steps ahead about what's going on with it. You know, and I can sort of, you know, and it wasn't until I got to college, and I was alongside these lads that just clearly didn't have that functionality in their brain, and I was just a bit like, wow, like it really sort of occurred to me that, you know, it really sort of hit me. I was like, this is a bit, I've got something for myself here, you know, like something, a bit of a gift. You know, like it's kind of, you know,
it's something like you say, you don't always realise it. You're pulling things apart in your head and how to make things work and how it's going to do things. And we've got whiteboards in the office in the factory, and Lee and I quite often are there. But, you know, we've got coloured pens all over the place, and we're scribbling lines all over the place, and I'm saying, well, we can do this, that and the other, and he's saying, what about this? And other people walk in and they look at the board and go, what the heck have you just drawn on there? Like, we understand it perfectly, we know exactly what it is. So the starting point really was very much looking at products that we could manufacture, and then that sort of obviously evolved into me deciding to have this sort of cap in hand conversation with Barry over a beer, thinking that he's going to think I'm absolutely bonkers, and he probably still does now. But the idea obviously has got some legs because he's stuck with it and he's still there now. So he's back in it all the ways. You know, his experience in the logistics industry is you know, just absolutely incredible, and what he brings to the party as well. It's superb. We've got a real understanding between the two of us. We've got a real understanding of how this is going to really sort of develop as a concept, and you know, it's a reality now. We've got vehicles out there. We've also got electric van coming now as well.
Wow.
So
what's it like having a business partner that understands?
Yeah, you're jealous.
A van.
What's it like having a business partner that understands you? By the way, I'm interested in knowing, like, because
I'm not sure he totally understands me, but he sticks with me, isn't he?
To be fair, I can look at Shane and be like, he'll know exactly what I'm thinking. It's got to that point now. Shane's face goes purple. I know he's not happy. He can't hide it from me anymore. Like, honestly,
my missus always say to me that I'm as subtle as a brick, and my emotions have just come straight to my face. Not necessarily at my mouth, but come straight to my face. So if I'm annoyed about something, everybody knows about it.
I'll say hi to Graham Arnold in the chats as well. He's not in this chat, but he's in another chat. He said, happy Easter, everyone. How do you like your eggs in the morning? Cheeky. The next one is
Delivered.
How did you put all this together? Malcolm, you've just explained that you're a bit of a tinkerer and you like to make things. But when it comes to building a business that can deliver, how did you put this all together?
Yeah, the how is where it all gets very interesting, isn't it? Because you can sit there with the idea and think this is a great idea, but at some point you've actually got to go, right, let's actually get this going. So the how part of it really did start actually right at the very beginning of the lockdown, where we sat around the kitchen table. There was a team of us actually that started exploring the idea and how we could actually make all this happen. So we ended up with streams of lists and ways and methods until we sort of funneled it all down into a complete answer. and then you start getting into the right. Okay, well, how are we going to get vehicles? How are we going to make vehicles? How are we going to market this? How are we going to get the message out to people what it is we're actually trying to do? How are we going to get the interest of the larger organisations to sort of feed into what we're actually trying to do in a last mile delivery solution, really, in and around a town and a city centre? So there's lots of hows. And it's a lot of planning. It's a lot of thought process to go through that. You have to go away. You have to look at the ideas. You have to go away and research what are the possible answers. Bring it all back to the table again, and you're slowly eliminating things that aren't going to work until you actually end up with a final concept. And of course, the reality is, you get a concept, and until you actually make that actually happen, as we have now, we've got the bikes out there, we've got the riders out there now actually doing the deliveries, actually starting to get this concept off the ground. That's when you really start to see whether you've actually got the ideas right and how you're going to have to start adapting that to a real life situation.
I guess how is especially when it comes to something like logistics, is quite a dangerous question, isn't it? So how are you going to run your business? Well, we're going to deliver things from A to B safely. And how are you going to do that? Well, we're going to find safe routes. We're going to have safe vehicles. We're going to get everything. So how are you going to do that? Well, I'm going to build them, aren't I? You can keep going back and back and back.
Yeah. Well, you've just raised some very good points there, because when we first looked at this, we've seen people who've just taken a bike, like the traditional bike couriers in London that you see whizzing around with a bag on their back, and they're obviously rushing documents from one side of the city to the other. And then you see people who are sort of taking that concept into a bike with a trailer, and they're literally just throwing bungee straps and boxes and bits of packaging, whatever the customer's goods are, and they're throwing it all, and they're chucking a bungee over it, flying around corners, and it all looks very precarious. And I think one of the big hows for us was how to give people the confidence that we've actually doing this in a very credible way. It's not just environmentally; it's actually going to be done credibly as well. Hence the reason the trailer is it's secure. It's got a 3 lock-in system to it, so we're secure. The bike and the trailer have also got locks on them as well. And we've also got a tracking system on there as well, so we know where the bike is at any one point as well. So we're doing everything we can to illustrate to people that we're actually trying to delivering their goods in the most serious way possible, so that they know with confidence that we're doing what we can to actually get their goods to the destination.
Amazing.
The tracking side of it obviously gives us the ability to actually route plan as well. So we can have people sort of contact us and say, well, I need you to go to a new destination, and that obviously then will allow us to see where the bike is and reroute as well.
So will you have an app where people can see where you are? Oh, it's only around the corner. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, I guess the other part with it as well is we have the insurance for goods in transit and the public liabilities as well. So these are all really important things. So these were all how questions that we needed to answer to give it that credibility. What did you just say? Sorry.
I said about the app. Will people be able to see you coming up on the app?
Yes, that's right. Sorry. Yes, you led into that very well. We've at this point in time, we've got a website, and we've got a new website which we're just in the process of developing, which we're hoping to have launched very shortly. So from there, it's really just a contact page at the moment, so people can contact us to discuss what it is they want delivering, and whether it's a block of deliveries, or it's a regular daily collection delivery, or if it's just a complete one-off. So somebody wants us to go and do a click and collect, they can contact us through the website. Behind all of this, we're actually investing a lot of money into developing the whole app, which will give us the real technology behind this. So this is going to give us the sophisticated tracking, the route mapping, what parcels and goods can we fit into this vehicle at any one time, and what vehicles have got to be at what points. So the whole logistics planning of it is all going to fit into that app. So that's a huge amount of investment that's going on behind the scenes.
Amazing. Yeah.
There's a lot of
very intricate stuff.
It is. Yeah. There's a lot of technology going into this.
Yeah, amazing. It's all green. It's all electronic technological stuff. That's actually quite good. But yeah, it's delivered on a bike. That's just the best thing ever. So you incorporating traditional methods with new and improved technology. That's fantastic.
It's almost like a very modern postie, really, because our riders are. They're people who live in the community, and they actually become part of the community by what they're actually doing as a service as well.
Wow,
really important.
Here's the Deliv 2 guy with my Premier League stickers. Whoa! No, I'm joking.
If we go into lockdown again, I might be asking for a job, Malcolm.
There you go. You see,
you don't need any more jobs. You've got enough jobs.
There'll be no profit because I just talk and talk and talk.
Andy, I'm gonna flip the same. Sorry, go on, Malcolm. What are you going to say?
I was just going to say we'll keep Andy customer facing then.
That's it. He could be on the phones.
Come here.
We need more riders already. So
I'm a machine, Malcolm. I'm a machine.
Just don't bring the mower.
Not the wild cop.
Speakers on it for you.
No,
You're doing it playing his guitar.
Like,
mobile gig.
Wait for the next Shrewsbury Carnival. We'll have a bike with the trailer with Andy on there with his band.
Yeah, as I say, you can sit on that trailer with a guitar and be like, "I'm a lucky man." As he's going past.
It's a little.
Technology breakdown.
I think we lost Andy. I think we've broken him. That's it. He got so excited by this.
Bless him.
He's got to fill his application form into.
That's what it is, yeah.
I know. I'm gonna remove for a second. That was a very unfortunate pose. Hopefully he'll come back. I was gonna ask him how become a local successful singer, but he's gone. What we'll do is we'll put a pin in that. Yeah, Malcolm, how did you become a successful singer around Shropshire?
I've no idea.
So the next one is who, and when we ask that, we ask who inspires you, who inspires you to do this.
Yeah, that's a very good question. That is, for me, owning and running businesses is a thing which has always been a passion of mine. It's not easy starting a business, and it's not easy trying to actually progress with new ideas. And you see the likes of your billionaires like Richard Branson and Elon Musk and what they're doing. It's absolutely incredible what they're doing. You know, one person and a huge team is actually able to achieve the things they're doing. Is truly incredible. So they're definitely inspirational figures for me.
Nice. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Is he back? Is he back? I've got the ring of death.
Yeah,
he's gone by himself. So I'm going. It's nice to talk about who inspires you, isn't it? Because sometimes it does take that little bit of a spark, you know, a conversation with someone or an idea or something, and then you can just run with it. Is it when it comes to inspiration, are you the type of person to have half an idea and then build on it and build on it and build on it? So is it very dangerous to talk about things around you, Malcolm, and inspire you very much?
Yeah, I'm always listening, reading, researching ideas and ways of doing things, and quite often you pick up on a thread of an idea and you're thinking that's got some potential, that has, and you go away and you chew on it. I found now that I go off on my own now quietly and just chew on these ideas. When I was younger, I used to go and say, this is a brilliant idea, and tell everyone about it, and they're all looking at me like an idiot. And you realise quite quickly that people will soon put you off ideas.
Yes, yeah.
You should never actually be put off from actually having ideas and actually pursuing them. What you've got to do is actually then find out if that idea has actually got some viability to it, and that's where you've got to put some thought and effort into it.
I used to work down in London quite a lot, so I was on my own quite a lot. Yeah, driving down to London and back every day, and yeah, I used to think up some weird and wonderful stuff that I was going to do. I think I'm going to make about 4 different films. I'm going to write about 3 or 4 different types of books. I'm going to create about 6 businesses. All these things which I just thought, oh, this would be a really good idea. This will work. And I ring the missus up, whilst driving, on hands free, by the way. I've had this awesome idea, and she'd be like, oh, what? And I'm like,
4 o'clock in the morning. 4 o'clock in the morning.
That's it. Yeah,
I have actually rung out before now, being like, ow, 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 ow.
But this is the thing about the Biscuiteers is we have like this crazy if we have an idea, we're just straight in the group with it, And me working nights sometimes, not sometimes, it will happen at least once a week. I'll be like, guys, I've got a plan,
He's messaging repeatedly once, like sending links and post. I literally just commented back saying 3 o'clock in the morning, dude. And he put, sorry.
Give it that thing where you've got that idea and you're full of passion about the idea and you think this is the best thing out and you want to go and tell everyone doing it as you do at 3 o'clock in the morning. And actually probably one of the things you do need to go away is actually go and sleep on it.
Yes.
Literally. Because sometimes you need a couple of weeks on the idea for it to actually evolve into something that's properly meaningful.
I had an idea yesterday. I don't know if I've spoken to the Biscuiteers about it, but I've spoken to the You Suck guys about it. I had an idea yesterday for September for the World Podcast Day of raising some money by doing a 24-hour long podcast. And I had this idea yesterday, and I've already kind of breadcrumbed it all out, so that we could do like 12 hours Shrewsbury Biscuit, sort of 9.
That's what we're doing now, is it?
To 9, and then 9 till 9 in the morning.
Do you know what, Malcolm? I feel like you're. I feel like Lee. Your man Lee. That's what I feel like right now. Just, oh God, right.
What an amazing idea, though. We get 12 guests to come and speak to us for 12 hours with the biscuit, and then when it gets past the watershed in the UK, we sort of switch it up a bit and become a bit more raunchy with the USUC thing, and then we do the same thing. I think it's a great idea.
That's like a podcastathon, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. Can I do it for 24 hours? Can he? Wow.
Look impressed.
I do work these guys hard, I gotta say.
Talking about ideas and all that sort of thing, we've got. Obviously, we're concentrating right now on how can we get these. How can we provide this service in Shrewsbury, getting businesses interacting with us and getting their goods delivered effectively? How are we getting the community to work with us? And even things like care homes, where we've got people, the community care homes have been in conversation with us about how can we actually provide them with a service, where it's even things like grocery shopping. So we're actually collecting the groceries and actually bringing the groceries to these communities. So there's a lot of things like that we're looking at, and then we're looking further forward. Then, and you're going to ask me a question on future at some point, I'm sure. But we're already offering a recycling service as part of this as well, because we're going to have bikes in and around the town centre milling around, and you've got all these shops, and you've probably been through Shrewsbury on numerous occasions where there's cardboard stacked up outside all these shops, and they've got no room to store the stuff, and they need to get this stuff collected out of the way. And we're actually able to provide a service where we can actually collect that cardboard almost on a daily basis. We can do a sweep through and collect cardboard and get it off the streets and get that recycled as well. So there's there's getting the goods to the businesses and to the consumers, and there's also that recycling collection service that we can provide as well.
So Malcolm, how many bikes have you got at the moment?
Right, we've got right now. There's one e-cargo bike and trailer in Shrewsbury running right now. We've actually got on order from the Netherlands. We've got several of the Urban Arrow e-cargo bikes. So there'll be a fleet of them coming online quite soon. We're just waiting for those to come over the short bit of water we got. And then we've got the first e-van is coming this week as well. So we've got an electric van as well. So that'll give us the ability then to not just deliver it in the town centre, but we can then trunk products between towns. So, for example, we could move product from Shrewsbury to Telford, and it also gives us the ability to deliver further afield as well. So we could be delivering to the villages on the perimeter of Shrewsbury as well, such as Basin Hill or Bomere Heath or.
So I'm going to ask you this just simply from my own kind of curiosity, because it's just, as I'm sort of on the same kind of wavelength engineering wise. So what sort of What sort of battery life are we talking about with these bikes? Are we talking like how long do you get? How many times do you have to charge them and stuff?
Yeah, that's a really good question. That is, what we found is that the battery, if we're just running the bike on its own, it'll actually do around 80 miles.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's a good range. So the bike on its own will do around 80 miles. So it'll easily do a day's work on its own. Putting the trailer on the back of it, and it actually pulling the trailer as well is obviously adding to the load of it. And we can carry about 150 kilos in the trailer. So
wow.
It's some pretty extensive loads that we can actually carry around. What we're finding is with a load, it's probably about 40 miles with the trailer. So what we have with the bike is we actually carry a spare battery as well, so we can do it.
Oh wow.
Just in case.
Yeah. Well, we don't need that embarrassing situation of being parked up on the side of the road because we've got no batteries.
On the cop.
Yeah, with 150 kilos on board.
Yeah.
Well, can't you just pull it up, Barry? Pull it up.
Yeah.
Barry sat behind it, trying to stop it rolling down the hill. Holding it. Malcolm.
I'm gutted that we've lost Andy, by the way. I've tried messaging him, and he can't read my messages. I'm guessing either his phone's died or he's run out of credit or something. I don't know what's happened to him.
He's put 50p in the meter, doesn't he? He needs to carry a spare battery. That's what he needs to do.
He got called out by the fire brigade as well.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, that's funny how that leads on to our next bit is beep. This is the moment where you feel like throwing in the towel. When you're putting this together, is there a moment, any sort of behind the scenes blunders, any sort of mistakes that you've made, anything that's gone wrong that's made you almost throw in the towel and give up altogether, where you've had to overcome that? Is there anything that's happened to you guys while you've been putting this?
I can very happily say that there's not been that instance at all. We have situations where we're sort of thinking we've gone extensively down a particular route and thinking that's the answer, and then realising that we're taking a wrong route and we need to pedal back from that. Pardon the pun. And reroute ourselves. Let's keep this one going. But I think that's part of starting a business is actually you're constantly evaluating what you're doing. You're looking at the direction you're going in. You have a plan, and then you've got to actually be adaptable as well. So you've got to recognise that plan doesn't. It's
important to stay in the saddle. It really is. It's
and I think
shit right over Shane's head.
Sorry, I had a little visitor.
Okay, sorry. I'll forgive you.
Sit here. You have to be quiet. Okay.
I've definitely not had that throw the towel in moment. But we've had lots of moments along the way where we thought we got this nailed, and then we've had to backpedal and change direction.
When it comes to bikes and things like that, something as simple as losing a screw can cause problems, So there's room for error and room for mistakes to happen. But do you guys have plenty of contingencies in place in case things like that happen?
Yeah, that's something. I mean, we're constantly talking to customers and listening to what their requirements are, and we're constantly thinking about how we're going to get the coverage. We're getting people coming to us and talking about all sorts of services. We've got people we're delivering flowers for, we've got other people we're delivering documents for, we've got other people we're delivering gifts and furniture for. It's such a wide and diversified range. And then you've got food products where you've got to think about how you're going to handle and store ambient temperature goods and that sort of thing, and how you're going to get those.
Yeah, good point.
I think it probably helps having the engineering background, doesn't it? Because the whole point of being an engineer is that it's the fault finding, it's the finding ways around how to fix stuff. I think having that kind of mindset and the way of thinking, it does help with when you come into these sort of problems with starting up a business, because you are automatically in the mindset of how to get around stuff rather than failing at the problem, Yeah,
it is. I mean, we're very much Lee and I with Ferro. We have moved so fast in our development of that business. Most people have thought we're mad at some of the stuff that we've done during COVID. I mean, we've invested in laser cutting machinery and some of the latest technology in processes for metalworking, and people have looked at us as if we're completely mad. But if we hadn't have done those things, then we wouldn't be designing and developing, e-cargo bike trailers and how we're going to motorise those and the sort of add-ons that we can move to in the future as well. So you've just got to keep pushing forwards.
You guys got such a strike. Sorry, go on.
I think that's the thing, and Barry, if he would say that as well. I mean, his experience in the logistics market and is constantly evaluating, learning, and never stopping. You just got to keep moving forwards and never give up on stuff.
Amazing. One of the next points we go to is Eureka! Those moments where everything just sort of gels together. That moment where you're like, this can work. Have you had? I mean, I've had plenty of moments for doing what we do where I've just kind of gone, this is it, mate. This is where I want to be. One of the best examples for us was probably the virtual show, Shropshire Virtual Show. That was one of the most amazing days of my life. And it's like we'd sit there, and I'd look at my team and what we were doing, and I'd just be like, filled with love, absolute love. This is what we do. This is what we do. What are the moments that you can think of when it comes to Deliv 2?
I think having an idea, and then you start having the conversation with people. I can remember having a conversation with a guy who does a similar service actually in a different town, and I went to see him, and I sat there talking to him about actually producing our own e-bikes, and he and I got into conversation and quickly realised that actually e-bikes, the investment in e-bike market now, the big manufacturers that are players in there, is it's really significant now. There's some big manufacturers involved in that, but then you realise then that actually the bike isn't really the problem here. It's actually the transit of the goods, and then you realise, well, actually no, it's the trailer that goes behind it, and the fact that can be modular and be adapted to do different functions. That's where it really needs to be sort of a key player in this sort of logistics market, and that was definitely a eureka moment where we realised that focus on the bikes isn't that's not the answer. The vehicle that carries the goods is the answer.
It's like the bike's fine. They can deal with the bike. That's not a problem. It's the other bit. Yeah.
We were in danger probably of trying to reinvent something that's already well established. The technology now in the bikes is absolutely incredible.
Well, I mean, look on a larger scale. I mean, most car manufacturers now have bits of other cars on it. Like you get Jags that's got Ford parts, and things like that, because there's no point in them making them themselves because somebody else is already making them. You just fit theirs on it.
That's absolutely right. Yeah. So we've had numerous eureka moments like that. So we've had eureka moments on how we wanted to move forwards with the technology, with the app and the website as well. So you're sort of impatient to make things happen now. And I think we wanted to get an app up and running very quickly, and you realise the complexity that's involved in a full blown app to do the things that we needed to do. And you have that moment where you realise that okay, we need to stop here and actually recollect our thoughts and actually build this up in a really structured way. Because what that is going to be when we launch that, it's going to be absolutely incredible.
You sent us videos that look like eureka moments to me, and that's getting that bike around the tight streets of Shrewsbury. Here we are.
Moving that around and it's
oh, sorry, we couldn't hear you then while the video was playing. I'm very sorry, but that was so cool. That's quite a bump it took. Like, are the trailers okay? Is all the stock okay with those bumps?
Yeah. Well, one of the things we've done with the trailer is we've made it in a way that there's not a I'm going to start again engineering and boringly technical now, but there's no through axle on this. So the wheels actually operate independently. So although we haven't got a true suspension system on there, the whole trailer is designed to give and flex in a way that it absorbs those sort of lumps and bumps. So you're not going to have a surface.
So are they on in suspension units then?
It's just down to the choice of materials, and it's just down to the actual design of the way the wheel fits that gives it enough flex to act like a suspension. So we've got the trailer is it's not rigid, it's got flex in it right the way across the length of it, across the width of it, and the wheels themselves as well. So we've got that movement in there. And then what we've done then is the actual load area itself, because we're nearly 1,000 litres of storage capacity in that box in there. So it's a huge amount we can get in there. But what we've done is we've then made it in a way that we can change the insides of it in a modular fashion. So there's a picture there somewhere where you'll see that we've got these stackable plastic boxes. So you can see we've got these stackable boxes in there, so we can securely carry individual customers' loads in those. And we've also got the ability within the trailer to partition it as well, so we can have flowers obviously is something that needs to be carried in a very careful way, so we can partition those off separately to heavier goods that could damage them. So we have to try and think about these. We have to try and think about these sort of problems when we're in transit. How we're going to carry a variety of goods from a variety of businesses all in one vehicle, and how we're going to make sure that everything arrives at its destination intact.
It goes back to how, doesn't it? You know, we say it's a dangerous thing, how. But really, when you as many hows as you can ask, and how many times you jump back with that, you get solutions to little problems that you might not have thought of, I guess.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. That is, it's almost in many ways through your thought and planning process on trying to get a business off the ground. It's actually coming back to that how and the why, really. Because that's making you actually look at yourself in the mirror, really, and actually sort of double check on yourself whether you're actually making the right decisions. I think we've got it. I think we've got the beginning of something which is really, really good and very exciting. We've got,
and this is where we get to talk about the future.
The future.
The future.
That's a good segue. That was, Malcolm. You could be a podcaster.
Yeah, well done. Therefore, doing some podcasting, mate. You want a microphone?
I've got enough jobs.
Not as many as Andy.
Yeah.
My mate Andy.
No, that's right. No, I can't compete with Andy now. Yeah, the future is really exciting, because this is definitely going to be a massive solution to towns and cities around the country. You're seeing more and more towns and cities now which are actually closing themselves out to cars, vehicles, pollution. We're getting these zones. Bristol, for example, now is actually zoned off the city. Birmingham are looking at it. London's obviously got its congestion charging zones. And there's more and more towns and cities looking at how they can actually get traffic out of city centres. They want to improve the living quality for people living in the city centres. They want to make it so people can walk around safely, you know, with less noise, less pollution. And this is really what we're actually offering is a view into the future. So we see this is something we're developing in Shrewsbury, but it's not just about Shrewsbury. We're looking at how we can move this into cities and towns and even smaller communities around the country. And then how can we actually connect those up so we can get our own sort of method of actually trunking the goods between cities and towns.
That's stunning, that is. I mean, we were talking about before we had the awkward round the sink discussion, Shane, earlier. You know, we were getting all these juicy sort of bits of comments that before we hit record. And we're saying that Shrewsbury is one of the best places to start something like this. We've seen it many times where people have gone, okay, let's try it in Shrewsbury, see what happens. Shrewsbury has a great reaction to it, and it goes on to take over in other towns. It's perfect for it.
Shrewsbury is so good for this. It's incredible. We've got some really, really good cycle routes around Shrewsbury. We've also got some really good routing, because everything's. Shrewsbury itself is almost like a map of a wheel. You've got the hub in the centre, and everything moves.
It's a honeycomb, isn't it?
It is, yeah, very much so. Yeah. So from a logistical point of view, moving goods around on bikes, it's absolutely fantastic. So, and obviously we've got all the hills, we've got all sorts of obstacles that we can trial out here and perfect before we move into other areas. So it's great. And it's my hometown, so it's great.
I mean, routing itself's a difficult thing anyway. I mean, that's what I do for a living. That's what I do for work is routing and stuff, and that does have its challenges. It's not until you kind of once the penny drops, once you can start seeing, you get used to it, then you're all right. I mean, I run the southeast for where I work, and so I do all London and Kent, which is challenging to say the least. It is challenging. You got things like traffic and stuff to take into account of, but it's so I can imagine that Shrewsbury having the roads and the networks and stuff within itself. I can see how that would be quite an interesting place to trial stuff like this. I can kind of see it. I can see that.
It sounds like we need Andy to come and actually start joining us on the bikes, and you need to come and help us with our logistics planning. Alex, come and join us.
He can be customer service, can't he?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Hi guys, welcome to Deliver 2. How may I help you? Welcome to the show. Okay, so we've got Sandra on line 1. She says she's got a problem. She ordered some pumpkins for Halloween, and they arrived in perfect condition. She's very shocked by this. She thought they'd be bruised. Yeah.
We even pre-carved them for her as well.
There you go.
Andy can do that with his lawnmower.
Speaking of Andy, I think before we sort of sign up here, I think it's only right we go through some of his pictures because we didn't get a chance to really. So here's a beautiful looking van. And you can of course catch Andy O'Brien live on Facebook. He does his gigs from the shed, but he did a live from a drive last night. He was on someone's drive playing socially distanced, which was quite cool. There he is again, looking stunning. He's very good with Richard Ashcroft. So whenever you go see him live, you're gonna get Richard Ashcroft because that's his speciality. He sent me this. It says Big Top Arena, Acid House. So what's this? I guess he's on here somewhere. These UK's finest tribute acts, music that shapes your generation.
Lucky Man, Richard Ashcroft. There you go, bottom right, acoustics, anthems, live set. Lucky Man, Richard Ashcroft, and The Verve.
Yes, and there's this one here. This has been rescheduled to Friday the 4th and Saturday the 5th of June 2021, and it's all been sold out. So this is quite cool. There you can see Andy bottom left there, so he'll be taking part in that. And that's in Blackpool. In Blackpool, he gets about, doesn't he? Our Andy.
Andy.
We'll be delivering for him in Blackpool very soon, then.
That's it.
He's also a man with a van, so if you need something delivering, a man with a van. So if you need him, make sure you call him. The number there is 07802 224 589. I thought I'd do you a service there, Andy, and help you out as soon as you there he is there again. The Lawnmower Man pressure washing service. Now available. The number there for that is 07472 346 if you want something pressure washing. Those are the most satisfying videos, aren't they? When someone's got an old drive and
I love that.
Brand new.
Have you seen the ones where they're cleaning the carpets and the rugs?
Oh yeah.
They're even. Oh, I love them. I love them.
If you're wondering what we do in our spare time, Malcolm, it's watch videos like this at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Welcome to Dad Life. This is what happens when you're a grown-up parent, isn't it? I suppose this is what happens. You start getting excited about Hoovers and cleaning rugs.
Yeah, who'd have thought it? Hey.
I know. Yeah. I used to be cool.
Are you getting attacked by a bee there, Malcolm?
I saw it as well.
It's the shirt. He's like, it's one of my friends. I want to speak to him. Malcolm, you've been amazing on the show. Andy, I'm very sorry you dropped off, but it was amazing speaking to you for the time that we did. Welcome back on the show anytime. Malcolm, where can people find Deliver 2 and how can they get involved?
Absolutely, yeah. Well, you can go to our website, www.deliver2, that's 2 with the number 2 on it, .co.uk. Email us, info@deliver2.co.uk, and you can call us as well. We've got a telephone, one of them old-fashioned things, 01743 649 400.
Awesome.
Amazing.
And you'll see us whizzing around the town.
Yeah.
Yes. Make
So
sure
make
you
sure you
wave.
wave.
Have you got a nice ding bell on them bikes?
Yeah, we have got a bell. Yeah, it's a legal requirement.
If I see you guys and I wave, ding ding, that'd be lovely. I love that.
I'm
So
going to get Andy to make us a little tune to warn people we're coming.
I was going to
Make
say,
sure
right,
on
just as a side note, if I was to come and apply for a job with you guys to be a courier, and I got given a bike, what are the rules and regulations with regards to me fitting air horns to it?
Yeah, well, that's it. Well, it's a bell, really.
Would I be allowed to fit air horns?
no, Shane.
Asking for a friend.
No,
of course.
Shane.
Would-
No.
Would
No.
you-
Get
would
your
you like
screwdriver off my bike. My bike. make sure you guys follow Andy O'Brien on Facebook. It's Andy O'Brien Love and Acoustic. He's got lots of followers there, local, international. He's well loved, is our Andy. This has been an amazing show. Thank you so much for the listeners. We haven't had lots and lots of listeners this week because it's
Easter Sunday.
beautiful. Easter Sunday. It's beautiful outside. But so to those people that have watched this show, thank you very much for. There was actually a comment by Helen. Where is it? Sorry about this. Yeah, thank you, Helen, for your comment. She says Happy Easter. Thank you very much, Helen, for that. And you guys have been fantastic. Right, let's get out of here, guys. This has been fantastic.
Better go and relieve
We'll
my
catch you
missus.
guys.
Thank
What?
you and happy Easter to everyone.
Happy
Yeah,
Easter.
happy Easter, guys.
Hey.
Enjoyed being on your shows, guys.
Thank you very much.
Welcome anytime, Malcolm.
Stay backstage. We'll have a chat before you get out of here. But I'm going to do the outro now. So peace out, guys. Catch us next
Peace out.
time.
All right, see you later.